The history of C418's physical releases are convoluted to say the least. So many different albums with so many different releases, it's pretty confusing trying to tie it all together. So I'm doing that so you don't have to. We're going to go through each C418 album in order that has had a physical release and talk about each one. So let's get started. Just a disclaimer before we start, all the prices I'm going to mention will be based off of recent Discogs sellings. Most, if not all of the releases I'm going to mention are sold out, so the only way to acquire them is to get them secondhand. All the prices will be in US dollars minus tax and shipping. So without further ado, let's jump into every single C418 physical release. Starting with 72 Minutes of Fame. Talks of having this album released on CD began in December 2010, but it wouldn't happen until November 2011, 4 months after the album came out. Since this was C418's first physical release, this was not released through a record label. C418 himself had these CDs manufactured by like an online German company, and he sent them out himself. The inside of the case has a lot of cool art and the lyrics for Alive, and the back of the case has some quirky text, which we'll see in the next album too. Another very notable thing about this release is that there were only 1,000 copies ever produced, and every single one of them is autographed. If you want to get your hands on one of these, good luck, because they go for around $60 to $90, which isn't insane, but they only go on sale like once every 2 years. They are considered the holy grail of C418 collecting. The next album to get a physical release was One, which is the soundtrack for the Minecraft documentary that came out in December 2012. This is a double CD that was released exclusively to Fangamer, and look, I have this one. Back of the case has the track list, which includes 4 exclusive remixes to this CD, as well as some quirky text in the bottom right like last time. The inside of the case has a bunch of drawings and hidden messages. It's really cool to comb through it. Surprisingly, these didn't go out of stock until early 2020. This CD doesn't go on sale too much, but when it does, it goes from anywhere from $30 to $70. The next physical release was Minecraft Volume Alpha, and it wouldn't come until 2015. So Minecraft Volume Alpha has 7 vinyls and 2 CDs. Starting with the CDs, there's the initial release in 2015 and a re-release in 2021. The art on the case is basically just alternate versions of the album cover, but the disc is stylized like a Minecraft disc, and that is cool. There's pretty much no difference between the 2015 and the 2021 version other than the sticker on the front. The 2015 version will run you $57, but the 2021 reissue only costs you $15. Sometime earlier this year, the Excursions and Volume Alpha CDs just appeared on C418's merch store without any announcement. If we're to believe the stock photos, the Volume Alpha CD is just a blank disc with no cover, and it's inside a sleeve instead of a case. I haven't seen anyone buy this version before, so I don't know if it's the same or if it's different or not. But that'll cost you $13. Moving on to the vinyls, we have the default one, lenticular cover, green translucent and lenticular cover, clear with a lenticular cover, and the 2 exclusive ones, green neon and green splatter. The standard black vinyl is the cheapest one and is going for $90. This album, of course, is super high in demand, so all the vinyls for this are just insanely high priced. The lenticular cover, which basically means it's shiny, will cost you around $100. The green translucent vinyl, even though it's limited edition, is probably the most common one, as it's always the first one to get restocked if they're ever sold out. This also goes for around $100, but I've seen it go less than that. The green translucent and lenticular cover one was only limited to 1,000 copies, so this will run you about $175. The clear lenticular cover one was released in February 2016 and doesn't sell very often, but it recently sold for $120. Alright, on to the store exclusive ones. The first one is the neon green one, which, ow my eyes, this was limited to 500 copies and was sold exclusively through an online company called Monolithic Mail Order. They're a pretty obscure record seller, but supposedly they helped Ghostly, the record label who produced these, with the distribution of this album, so Ghostly returned the favor by giving them a couple exclusives. The other exclusive one, which also came out in January 2020, is the green splatter. This is probably my favorite design out of all the Volume Alpha vinyls. This was limited to only 300 copies and was sold exclusively through Turntable Lab. One thing to know about all of these, C418's physical releases are notorious for never containing the full track list. The Volume Alpha CDs contain the full 24 tracks, but the vinyls only have 12. Anyways, moving on to Excursions. This album came out in late 2018, and with it was a vinyl and a CD. This time around, they were released through Driftless Recordings and not Ghostly. Since this album is almost 2 hours long and they didn't have the money to make a triple or double LP, the vinyl only contains 6 songs out of the 16 that appear on the album. To partially make up for it though, one of the songs is a vinyl exclusive bonus track. On the back of the case there is alternate cover art with names and places written on the edges. The record itself is swirly orange translucent and it looks really cool. As a bonus, the vinyl also comes with a little art sheet that has 2 alternate covers on either side. The CD is basically more of the same, but with the alternate covers being on the case and the disc. To fit as much music as possible into a single disc, the CD has a really wonky track list. They got rid of tracks 10, 13, 14, 15, and 16. If you get the CD secondhand, it'll cost you around $30, but if you buy it from C418's merch store, it's only $10. Now, both the CD and the vinyl were marketed as limited editions. The exact number of copies made for each one is a little fuzzy, but the vinyl was around 200 or 300, while the CD was around 500. However, like I said, the CD is still available through C418's merch store, so much for limited edition. The swirly orange vinyl, however, has only gone on sale twice. There was the initial release at the launch of the album, and they sold out within a month. And then there was a very limited 2021 release. A few months before releasing a repress of this vinyl in 2021, the record label found 30 leftover swirly orange vinyls sitting in a warehouse. So they put them up for sale and they sold out within 5 minutes. This is how I was able to get mine. But since the swirly orange vinyl sold out very quickly and has never been restocked, it's been recently selling for as high as $200. Making it C418's most expensive physical release. But like I mentioned, there was a repress in June of 2021. The only difference this time around was the vinyl design, which is a beautiful smoke gray. These ones sell for roughly $30. Finally, we made it to the most recent C418 album that's had a physical release, Minecraft Volume Beta. Surprisingly, despite how popular this album is, it didn't get a physical release until 2020. This album has 9 different vinyls and just 1 CD. Just like Minecraft Volume Alpha, we have the standard black one, the lenticular cover, Fire Splatter, and Fire Splatter with lenticular cover. I have that last one, and the shiny cover is super cool, the vinyl design is super cool, this is just an all-around great release. All 4 of these go for around $60, but the regular Fire Splatter usually goes for a bit less. Moving on to the store exclusives, we have Transparent Yellow with Black Splatter. This is a limited pressing of 500 copies exclusively for monolithic mail order again. Surprisingly, they still have plenty of these in stock and you can pick one up for $55. There's also Transparent Orange with Black Splatter. Again, 500 copies and was sold exclusively through Vinyl Me Please. This one goes for around $85. There's a Solid Red with Black Splatter, which is limited to 500 copies through Turntable Lab. This one costs $75. And then finally, there's the Magenta and Black Splatter, which was limited to 300 copies and sold exclusively through Bleep. This one also costs around $75. Out of the 30 songs in Minecraft Volume Beta, the vinyls only have 17, but the CD has the full track list. This is also the only C418 vinyl to be a double LP. And that's every C418 album that's had a physical release so far. There's been some other ones that have been teased, such as the 3rd Minecraft album, Cookie Clicker, a 1 vinyl, but there's been nothing concrete so far. If you have any questions about any of this, leave a comment and I'll help you out. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Bye.